Hi, and thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week we talk about the canceled Met Gala, the Royals, and Elon Musk and Grimes' crazy baby name. Our user feedback is about the topics from last week, and we end with our weekly feature, the comments of the week. The stories and photos we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 51. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra. I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser.
So this week was better for gossip, and it felt better overall.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't crazy busy. We had a decent amount of royal stories, so that was nice.
Yeah, the royal stories were good. We'll get into those a little bit later. I saw that you wrote that you're sick of all the cooking inspo because it's annoying to you or something.
Well, I get in moods where I cook sometimes, but I'm not in one of those moods right now. This happened this week. I was like, okay, I'm going to make myself some pasta from scratch, blah, blah, blah. It sucked. It was just horrible. I used the wrong ingredients, and I feel like I'm not doing the quarantine right because I don't care enough to cook.
You tried to make pasta from scratch. That's like the hardest thing.
No. I wasn't actually making the pasta from scratch. I'm just talking about making a sauce from scratch and stuff like that.
I had looked that up and I was considering making pasta from scratch, and my mom was trying to talk me through it like I didn't need the special machine and I could do it on my own and just cut it. But okay.
No, I don't do that. I've never done that. I like watching it done, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I like cooking and baking, but just because I have a son here and he eats a lot. So he does eat a lot.
Yeah, I've seen all the bread that you're making. That's nice. A lot of it looks really good.
I've been eating it. Yeah, it tastes good too. The banana bread is so awesome. I love making it. Are you watching any shows now or?
Yeah, I'm doing a Bones rewatch, which ended up being the perfect thing. It's just the right amount of cop drama and boring forensic stuff, but it's got some humor to it. And I haven't watched this show in a long time. It's been really nice. I've just been watching it in the evenings for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's a pleasure.
That's nice. You need that.
Yeah, and I realized that I've never seen the final 2 seasons of Bones because it went on for so long. And I've also never seen the final season, I think the final 2 seasons of White Collar. And I used to love White Collar, but then it got a little bit crazy. I stopped watching it, spoiler, when you found out Matt Bomer's, his character's dad was also a corrupt cop or something like that. I was like, oh, this is stupid. I'm not going to watch this anymore. But now I kind of wonder what happened.
You have the same taste in shows as my mom, and she also loved Bones and White Collar.
Well, did she finish watching White Collar? Ask her for me if she finished watching.
I'll ask her.
I'll
let you know. I'll put it in this post.
Yeah. Ask your mom if I should even bother watching the last 2 seasons.
I will. I bet she did because she sticks with her shows. She's good about watching them.
Plus, it was Matt Bomer, and he was just gorgeous in that show.
Yeah, he was nice to watch. I've heard about that. Hi, I'm recording this later. My mom also gave up on White Collar at the same time as Chandra after season 4. Did I tell you this? I've been playing Animal Crossing, but the 20-year-old Animal Crossing from my old Gamecube.
It feels like everyone on my timeline on Twitter is obsessed with that game. I'm not a gamer at all, so I don't.
But I'm literally playing the version from 2001.
Why don't you get the new version?
We have it. My son has the Switch, but I'm not allowed to play it because he made me a character, but I think he feels like I would mess up his island if I played it too much. But he already played it and then put it aside, so I think I might try to convince him to let me play the new one. But I like my old one. It's so low res, and I kind of play it in bed because the controller is wired, so I have to play it from bed because it doesn't reach my couch.
Well, this week we were supposed to cover the Met Gala, but of course that was one of the first things to get canceled.
Oh no, I'm so sad.
Yeah. I don't get why you dislike the Met Gala, though.
Because I can't work like you can. The amount and quickness that you write is phenomenal. And I think you assume, I'm trying to make this sound nice because it's a compliment.
No, I get that.
But it's going to sound backhanded. Like, you assume other people can write like you, and it doesn't come to me that easy. And I'm covering all these fashion stories. I'm like, what do I say about this? And then I'm wrong, you know? Sorry, go ahead.
But I enjoy the Met Gala coverage so much more than like Oscar coverage, Golden Globes coverage, any award show, basically.
But we literally have like a quarter of the amount to do for any of those other award shows.
Well, but we also have to stay up crazy late to watch all of those stupid shows. And then we have to like remember, oh, this is what someone said in their speech and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There are so many parts to covering an award show. With Met Gala, it's just the fashion. You just have to look at the photo and say, oh, I really love that look. Here's what she's wearing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's true. And I also think I'm more sensitive to people yelling at me for getting shit wrong. You know, you'll say, I don't think this is on theme for this year. And someone's like, well, actually, it is on theme because blah, 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 blah. And I know 5 times more than you do about this story you had to write in 10 minutes.
Well, wait. So talk about what the theme was supposed to be for this year, because I thought this was interesting.
Okay. So the theme was supposed to be about time, and I have this written down so I could read it because I would not be able to remember this shit. And it's based on philosophy Henri Bergson's concept of la durée, time that flows, accumulates, and is indivisible. The show will explore how clothes generate temporal associations that conflate the past, present, and future. The concept will also be examined through the writings of Virginia Woolf, who will serve as the ghost narrator of the exhibition.
See, as I was reading that, it just clicked with me about how much fun this year's Met Gala would have been. Because you know that a lot of these women would end up in some, like, Duchess of Cambridge looking bullshit. You know, like all ruffles and buttons.
Just
and
fug old shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would just be wearing Victorian old shit.
Victorian old shit.
They would look like little Duchess Kate clones wandering around the Met Gala.
Who did you like? There was somebody you put in the Julia Roberts post. She lives in upstate New York. What's her name?
Oh, Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried, yeah. Her dress looked cute from far away when she was feeding her chickens or whatever, because it looked like some kind of Little House on the Prairie nod.
It definitely looked vintagey and very Virginia Woolf, I thought. So she looked like she would have been on theme. Think about what Sarah Jessica Parker would do with like a Virginia Woolf time theme. It would involve bustles. It would involve some sort of special coat with buttons.
Special coat and a stupid hat.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have liked to see some kind of dolly nods, like with the melting clocks and things like that. But that's too on the nose, probably.
Some bitches would just show up with like clock headpieces.
Give me a necklace made of swatch heads. That would be cool.
All of these sites, all the fashion sites were doing retrospectives of Met Galas past. And so many of them sucked. I remember covering some of those Met Galas and I'm like, oh, yeah, those were terrible. But
Go Fug Yourself has the best ones.
Yeah, they really do.
Stuff.
The Fug girls are amazing. And you can tell that they spent so much time on those retrospectives.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I loved was the 2015 China Through the Looking Glass. That was so good. And so many people really delivered that year.
I'll find what page that is in our Met Gala coverage and I'll link that page and you can go back through and look at them. I don't even remember that year.
I remember it because everyone came in with their expectations so low that it would, that everyone would just be wearing like chopsticks in their hair and red. And everyone like really did their research and they were like trying to find all of these interesting influences dealing with China. It was great.
All right, I'm bringing it up right now as we're talking. Yeah, I see Kate Hudson wore this really pretty Michael Kors gown. It was like gold.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of gold that year. And I love metallics on the red carpet.
Okay, I think I remember you put a picture of
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway's. Yeah, she had like a silver metallic kind of slip dress. Well, it kind of clung to her and it looked gorgeous. I don't have a favorite Met Gala because I'm
because you
looking
hate
at
it.
Go Fuck because I hate it, and it was in Ocean's 8. It was the fictional one. I'm looking at Go Fuck Yourselves coverage. I'm like, oh my god, I remember what a pain in the ass that year was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are always fun moments and there are always stupid moments with every Met Gala, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sad that we didn't have to, get up at the crack of dawn and cover all this bullshit. It would have been fun. I think this year would have been fun for stupid fashion.
Yeah, it always is. There's always some ridiculousness.
Yeah, there would have been people with wearing clock headpieces and
looking like Flavor Flav.
Yeah. But Julia Roberts, she showed off the dress, I guess, that she would have worn to this year's Met Gala, and it didn't have anything to do with the theme.
It was dated from about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like this.
And
sorry, go ahead.
Duchess Meghan wore it in her Vanity Fair editorial a few years ago, too. And it just didn't have anything to do with anything. It wasn't a cute dress. It looked like a prom dress.
It was layered tulle. We've seen so many variations of that stupid layered tulle skirt.
Uh-huh.
It looks like the little doll that covers the toilet paper roll.
I just hate anything with layers. I think that looks so stupid for a red carpet gown.
For giant layers.
Yeah, I don't mind tulle. I mean, you can look like a cream puff or something like that, but tulle is fine. Just don't do it in like layers and ruffles. Ugh.
Yeah, it was ugly. So this week we got to see Meghan read little baby Archie a book for a little 3-minute video she did to benefit Save the Children. They released it on the Save the Children UK Instagram. And it was adorable. It was the book Duck Rabbit. And Archie was like squirming all over.
He is big. He is really
He's
big.
a big baby.
He's chunky.
He's chonky. You can't call babies thick, remember? We had that conversation before.
I didn't call him thick. I called him chunky.
I know. I just wanted to remind you. And Harry was the camera person.
Right.
And you can hear him off camera.
You can hear him laughing when Archie throws down the book. You can hear Harry laugh, and Meghan looks at him into the camera. It was like from The Office or something, the way she looked into the camera.
Like she knows. They know that baby. Sorry, go ahead.
And then you could hear him quacking. When she goes quack, quack, you can hear Harry go quack, quack, quack. It was adorable.
It was so cute. And then baby Archie said, and I never would have picked this up, but people excerpted it and put it on Twitter. He said, "Can you get it?" after he threw the book down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play that little segment to see if our listeners can hear it.
What happened? Duck rabbit.
Yeah, and then the dad at the end. That was really cute.
It was super cute. So author Emily Giffin wrote an unhinged screed on Instagram against Meghan. Like, she was sending this super nasty text thread with her friend, and she decided to put it on her Instagram stories like it was something to be proud of, that she's crazy.
Right.
And she said, like, how do you be that crazy?
Hey, everyone, look how much of a Karen I am.
Yeah, she's a Karen. She's definitely a Karen. And she said Meghan was phony and attention-seeking, unmaternal.
Yeah.
And that she was annoyed with baby Archie. And I was like, Meghan was annoyed? Like, she seems so patient to me, but whatever.
I hate giving these people air. There's always going to be some bitter asshole who's going to criticize Meghan for existing.
But it's fun to, like, make fun of them.
As soon as I saw that video, I was like, oh, they're not perfect. It was so cute because they didn't film that a million times to get it just right. They just filmed it, and it was real cute, and it was adorable. And it was realistic. And, of course, people are going to jump up Meghan's ass for that, but...
And then, because everybody called that bitch out, she locked her Instagram down. But before she locked it down, she issued a fauxpology.
Yeah, and it was all about how dare you call her racist. Yeah.
Here's what she said. But I can say from the bottom of my heart that my criticism of Meghan has never had anything to do with her race. So,
Well, there are so many people who think that it's only racist if you're actually like explicitly using the N-word. No, you're criticizing this woman for nothing. The racial microaggressions, the feeling that, you as a white woman can, I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general you.
No, I don't care. I'm getting to the point where you could call out white women. I'm like, yeah, we're like that,
But this whole idea that white women need to educate Meghan on how to behave, how to be a mother, because she's obviously failing so badly. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. This got picked up by all the major outlets too, and everyone was mocking this idiot. She'll never be able to outlive this.
I was surprised by that, but
I liked it. I was glad that it happened that way. So right around the time that Archie had his first birthday, I'm sure it was just a coincidence, Kate announced her new at-home photography competition where they are asking for submissions about the pandemic. So they're trying to shine a light on the pandemic through photography, and they're going to do a virtual exhibition this summer. So she did like a Zoom interview today announcing this, and she did it with a morning show in England. And, it's good that she's doing this. It is.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. And it's something she's personally interested in too. So,
I mean, she thinks that she's a photographer. She's not really. She just takes cute pictures of her kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. She's doing it for one of her patronages. They claim that she came up with this. They made it sound like, oh, who in the world would have ever thought about this? Literally every magazine editor is doing this as their theme for like the June and July issues. But yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
And the interview she sounded punch drunk, which I enjoyed, that she wasn't very polished, almost like Meghan wasn't very polished in her video.
Yeah. So here's that excerpt where they ask her how she's doing, and she kind of rambles. It's funny.
How are you coping in this strangest of times?
Not at all. Fine, thank you. It's extraordinary. I'm sure you're experiencing the same yourselves and your families and things. But we're stuck into homeschooling again. But no, they're unprecedented times really. But no, we're fine. Thank you for asking. How are you? How are both your families?
So yeah, she's trying, putting herself out there. So we also got the new title for the Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand biography of the Sussexes, which is coming out August 11th. It's called Finding Freedom, Harry, Meghan, and the Making of a Modern Royal Family. So it's #1 on pre-order books from Amazon.
Have you pre-ordered it?
No.
Yeah, me either. I will. I'll pre-order it, though. But yeah, people were really, really mad about the title.
I think it's wonderful.
Not to get everyone mad at me, but yeah, Finding Freedom is a little bit melodramatic. It is. But it also suits the Sussexes and their vibe.
It sounds like Meghan's writing. Like, that's how her writing is,
Yeah, it is. But obviously, Meghan wants to assure everyone that she did not authorize this biography.
Well, she didn't say that or anything. She's just being silent when her best friend journalist is putting it out.
Yeah.
And he is a really good advocate for her, Omid Scobie, on Twitter especially.
Yeah. What's funny about this, and this will lead into our next story, is that ever since we found out that there's a book, it seems like all of a sudden there are like 20 new books, and they're all really negative about the Sussexes. And so we had that story again this week. There's a book about the history of Kensington Palace and Kensington Palace's residents. The big ones are Princess Margaret, Princess Diana, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and Meghan and Harry. And so that's where this next story, nasty story, came from.
It's called Kensington Palace, an intimate memoir from Queen Mary to Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm.
It's by Tom Quinn. Is he...
I've never heard of him.
Okay, I don't pay attention to them, so I appreciate you knowing.
But I'm sure I've read something about him before, but I have no idea.
So the Daily Mail published excerpts from this new book, and it's very negative towards Meghan. And supposedly Harry and Meghan were going to move into the apartment next to Will and Kate in Kensington Palace, but they had a falling out because Meghan yelled at one of Kate's staffers or something.
Right. I think this is a variation on the original story from 2018, which said that Meghan made Kate cry. And so now that story has been warped into Meghan yelled at one of Kate's staffers and Kate was mad.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the same story. It feels like it is the same story, and it feels like, are we ever going to find out what that situation actually was? But I don't believe that Meghan yelled at anyone. I don't think she's that kind of person.
In the excerpt they shared about that, it was like the author was talking out of both sides of his mouth. Mm-hmm. It said, Meghan overdoes the imperiousness. So on one hand, she wants to be like Diana, a people's princess. And on the other, she wants people to stand to attention when she clicks her fingers.
I don't think she's like that either, that she wants people to stand to attention when she clicks her fingers. I honestly believe that so much of the staff anger at Meghan over the years has been because she expected people to work like Americans.
To do their jobs.
Yeah, she expected people to come in at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and work a full 8 hours. And she was shocked that it didn't work that way.
And yeah, I'm sure she didn't yell. She probably was like, yeah, you need to do this.
Yeah, it's your job. Why don't you do it?
Yeah.
All right. And then there was another hit piece. This didn't come from that same book.
It was complicated, and I had to reread it to get what they were doing. So the Daily Mail ran this hit piece on Meghan, and they got a photographer to talk about her on the record, and then a videographer, who was probably the same guy, but they said it was some unnamed person, to talk trash about her off the record. They didn't name that videographer, and it could have just been one of Daily Mail's sources.
And this was supposed to be before Meghan became a duchess. This was when she was just an actress on Suits. And she came in for a photo shoot with this videographer and photographer. And so this is how they were trashing her.
And it could have been two separate incidents or one with one guy. That was kind of unclear the way the DM wrote it. And the photographer said she showed up with 12 people and she was intense and on a mission. And then the videographer said she was mean and a diva, and she wanted approval rights over the final video. And she didn't want her feet to show on camera. Like, that was such a diva request.
Because she had bunions or bunion surgery scars. And so it became this huge thing about, let's make fun of Meghan because she didn't want to show her bunions in a photo shoot, which is...
And the DM had 10 pictures of her feet. And they're the ones who pointed out her bunion scar, which was super tiny. And they're like, look, here's where she is wearing sandals. I'm like, well, I don't know.
She's such a diva because she doesn't want her feet photographed. Oh, my God.
It was like a parody article from The Onion. It was so stupid.
That's why I didn't even do excerpts from it. It was too stupid to even really talk about. So I just made it into the headline of, she's a bunion hiding diva. Oh, my God.
I mean, her requests were basic stuff that celebrities ask for at shoots.
Right.
Yeah. Now she's not holding her baby right or something.
I think she was holding Archie a very specific way to hide her belly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you think she's pregnant? We were talking about that last week. I made that the title to the post so more people would comment on it, because people don't comment on our podcast posts that much because they feel like they have to listen to the whole thing. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think she positioned Archie a certain way. Oh, I loved that she wore shorts in the video. Everyone was talking about that. There was a real funny tweet that said, I'm so happy that Meghan gets to sit in California and wear shorts without getting the approval of 18 people.
Oh, yeah, because she was in trouble because she didn't wear pantyhose or whatever.
Uh-huh. But she looked so relaxed. She looked like she'd gotten some sun. It was nice.
She was so pretty, too. And she didn't have, it looks like she needed to dye her hair a little bit, and that was cute to me.
I didn't even notice that. I just noticed the sun on her face. You could really see. I think she had a little bit of a sunburn, actually.
Oh. I wonder what kind of yard they have in LA.
I bet they just have a regular pool. Probably a nice pool.
I bet they have a pool. So the other big story this week was Elon Musk and Grimes had their first baby together, and they gave it an absolutely bonkers name.
First of all, I was surprised by the legs this story had. This has become a week-long story. The fact that these two assholes named their baby something idiotic. And at first, I didn't even take it seriously because I was like, no, this is just a stupid joke that he's making on Twitter. This can't be real. And then she was like, oh yeah, it's real. Here's this huge long tweet explaining this stupid fucking name.
She used like emojis and shit.
So now it's a 4-day story, basically.
The baby is called X, and then the AE symbol fused, which I've barely ever seen before, A-12. So
yeah, and apparently someone said the AE symbol is pronounced ash.
I am recording this later. Elon Musk has confirmed after we recorded this that the baby's name is pronounced X Ash A12.
But they're not even going to be able to name this stupid fucking baby. Sorry, I don't mean to call the baby stupid. The baby's not stupid. I apologize for calling the baby stupid.
You don't have to apologize.
The parents are assholes, though. So
Yeah.
So basically, California is like, slow your roll. You can't name your baby something this fucking stupid.
All right, so I have experience with this. So my last name is a German last name from my husband, from my ex-husband, has an umlaut in it. And when my son was born, we tried to have his last name have the umlaut, but they wouldn't let us because there's no symbols in the official government stuff. So they sent us his social security card and it wasn't spelled correctly. So we have to spell our last name differently in the US.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't let anybody use umlauts or accents, and it's like, how do people spell their names? They can't, and they have to change them for U.S. documents and stuff.
But anyway, so Elon Musk and Grimes are fucking assholes, and they tried to name their baby something stupid, and this poor baby, who is not stupid, is just going to end up with a terrible name, and I feel sorry for the baby already. And the baby is really cute.
How can we tell? They only shared one picture of it with like a filter of tattoos on its face. Like,
the filter photo wasn't great. I was like, that was kind of funny to me. But you could tell that the baby was cute.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the user feedback. So Gen Z's commented on our intro last week. We were talking about Tom York of Radiohead because you were lusting over him, even though he looked like he hadn't had a shower in like a week.
He looks like he lives in the woods and bangs trees or something. But he's cute. I would still hit it. He has the voice of an angel.
Bangs trees. She wrote, Tom's voice is just so beautiful. I'm with Chandra would bang.
Yep, exactly.
I get the giggles now. You're calling Elon Musk and Grimes assholes because they still are.
They are. They've always been assholes.
I'm glad we don't like work on live television or something. So Aaron also commented on our praise of Tom DeLonge becoming a ufologist, and we were kind of doing that tongue-in-cheek, but she wanted us to know, she said, Tom DeLonge is formerly of Blink-182. He was essentially kicked out because he's a shit band member that nobody could rely on. Tom's been saying for a decade big things are coming before releasing the odd recording of a song or some other embarrassing music video or whatever. He literally has compared himself to Jesus. He's a wreck. So we don't follow him, so we don't know.
Okay, I've never liked Blink-182, but
you gotta defend
for
Tom
what
DeLonge.
it's worth, just to play devil's advocate here, he has important work as a ufologist. He can't play in a band.
He's too busy. He's really focusing on this, you guys. This is his career. He has dedicated himself.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a dog in this fight. But... Let's move on to the comments of the week.
All right, my comment of the week is from a story that too many people slept on, which was Prince William got credit for granting permission for air ambulances to land at Kensington Palace. Now, I think there's been a helipad at Kensington Palace for years now, but William and Kate use the helipad almost exclusively because the Queen gave them a private helicopter, which they fly all over England.
And Wills doesn't fly it because he doesn't have a license.
Right. And so they've been in Norfolk this whole time. And so someone granted permission for air ambulances to land at Kensington Palace because it's super convenient and close to a lot of hospitals. So Harper says, I see Wills is continuing to associate his name with the air ambulance during this pandemic. I swear that when this is all over, half of the DM readers will believe that he actually flew copters full of COVID patients, landed on the Kensington Palace grounds, and held their hands as their stretchers were loaded into an ambulance and whisked away. Then, looking wistful, Wills turns around and jumps back into the copter and pilots off to another hamlet to save more of his countrymen. It's really true.
She's a good writer. I believe it now after reading that excerpt. She painted that picture in my mind.
Well, that's the picture that William wants to paint. I don't even think that he has the power to authorize that. I think the Queen has to authorize it. Or, Buckingham Palace. But
he's going to be king, Chandra, don't you know?
He's the future king, obviously.
William is going to be king and Kate is going to be queen.
I'm very interested to hear some stories when all of this is all over about how pissed Charles and the Queen were about William trying to do a power grab during this pandemic.
We were talking about that this week. Is Charles going to stand for William's bullshit once he's king? I don't think so. I think he's going to shut that down.
If Charles becomes king anytime soon, which could happen, I think Charles is going to definitely want Harry and Meghan to come back. And that will be interesting to see how that plays out.
I don't know if he could even convince him.
Well.
So my comment of the week is on the post about Michelle Obama making Sasha and Malia make their own beds when they lived in the White House. And she also said that she wanted them to learn how to do laundry. And Hecate covered that. Anne said, I read somewhere that when Obama was in the Senate commuting to and from Chicago and D.C. on weekends, Michelle would remind him to take out the trash so that he remembered that he had responsibilities in their household too. Bless that woman and her family.
Yeah, she's talked about that before. And she's also talked about how mad she was that he wasn't showing up. There were years where he wasn't showing up for her or the girls.
Because he was focusing on his career, yeah.
I mean, she makes it sound like their time in the White House was actually the best moment of their lives as a family because they got to be all together. She didn't have to work full time, so.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that, to watching her Netflix documentary. I haven't seen that yet because it just came out.
I haven't even read Becoming, honestly.
I started reading it and it was too good and it made me sad. It was so well written. She painted this wonderful picture of growing up with her aunt and uncle and just what a great childhood she had. And it made me sad. Oh my God, this is over. I want the Obamas back. So I didn't finish it, but my mom read it and she loved it.
I used to follow the Twitter feed of the Obama kids where it was just Obama with kids and photos that they would just run every now and then. I had to stop following it because every time a photo popped up, I was like, oh God.
I know, I miss him. And he's always so cute with kids and genuine. Remember the Batman kid and Obama?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My favorites were the ones with him and his niece, his half-sister's daughter, and she was just a baby when he first came into office. And there are all these beautiful photos of him with his little baby niece, on the White House lawn, picking dandelions or something. Oh, God, those kill me.
I'll link some of those in the post. Oh. All right. Thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches.
Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you like us, please turn off your ad blocker when you visit our site. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 434-218-3219. Our music is from AA Alto, Maiden, and via Premium Beat and Sound of Picture. Thanks again.
That was a breezy one.
I started getting the giggles and I couldn't stop. I was just like crying, laughing.
It was funny.
It was making me feel stupid. It was like,